Welcome to my channel Bookish English. Do you feel shy when you try to speak English? Do you understand, but your voice stops? What if I tell you, your shyness is not your weakness. It is just a habit you can break starting today. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you will feel ready to speak. Chapter 1. Why you feel shy. Have you ever felt this moment? You want to speak English, you really want to say something, but suddenly your body stops you. Your heart starts beating fast. Your hands feel a little cold. Your mind becomes empty, like all the words you learned just disappear. You know the sentence. You understand the question, but your mouth does not open. And inside, you feel a small fear. What if I say it wrong? This moment is very real. And if you feel this, I want you to know something very important. This is not your weakness. This is something almost every English learner feels. Let me take you deeper into this feeling. Imagine someone asks you a simple question in English. Maybe they say, "How are you?" Or, "What did you do today?" These are easy questions. You know the answers. You have learned these words before. But still, there is a small pause, a small fear. Your brain starts thinking too much. Is my grammar correct? What if I use the wrong word? What if they laugh? And in that moment, your confidence becomes smaller and smaller. Sometimes, you choose silence. Sometimes, you say just one word. And later, you feel regret. You think, I could say more, but I didn't. Now here is the truth that will change how you see yourself. You are not shy because you are bad at English. No, you are shy because your brain is trying to protect you. Yes, protect you. Your brain thinks speaking English is a risky situation. It feels like danger. Not real danger, but emotional danger. Your brain wants to keep you safe from embarrassment. It wants to protect you from feeling stupid. It wants to stop you from making mistakes in front of others. So what does it do? It stops you. It creates fear. It tells you, stay quiet. It is safer. This is very important to understand. Your brain is not your enemy. It is just doing its job. But sometimes, it is doing too much. It is protecting you even when you do not need protection. Speaking English is not dangerous. Making a mistake is not dangerous. But your brain does not know that yet. It only knows what you have felt before. Maybe in the past, someone laughed. Maybe you felt embarrassed once. Maybe you compared yourself to others and felt small. All these experiences create a story in your mind. And now your brain repeats that story again and again. Let me tell you something powerful. Every learner feels this. Yes, even people who speak English very well today. They were not always confident. They also had moments when their voice was shaking. They also made mistakes. They also felt shy. The difference is, they did not stop. They slowly trained their fear. Step by step, they showed their brain that speaking is safe. And you can do the same. Think about this for a moment. When a child learns to speak, do they feel shy? No. They speak freely. They make mistakes again and again. They say wrong words. They create funny sentences. But they keep speaking. Why? Because they are not afraid of judgment. They are not thinking, what will people say? They are just expressing. They are just trying. That is why they learn fast. That is why they become fluent. But as we grow, something changes. We start caring too much about what others think. We want to sound perfect. We want to avoid mistakes. And slowly, this creates fear. And this fear creates silence. Now here comes the most important shift in your thinking. Your problem is not English. Your problem is fear. And fear is something you can train. Just like a muscle. Just like a habit. Fear is not permanent. It is not part of your identity. It is something you learned. And anything you learn, you can change. Let me ask you something very simple, but very powerful. What if your fear is not real, but just a story your mind is telling you? What if the people you are afraid of are not judging you at all? What if they are actually understanding you, even if your English is not perfect? What if the only thing stopping you is your own belief? Take a deep breath and think about this. Most people are not thinking about your mistakes. They are thinking about their own life, their own problems, their own thoughts. Even if someone notices your mistake, it is just for a moment. Then they forget. But you remember it again and again. You repeat it in your mind. You make it bigger than it really is. This is why your fear feels so strong. Not because the situation is big, but because your mind is repeating it. Now imagine a different story. Imagine you speak a small sentence. It is not perfect, but it is clear. The other person understands you. They respond. A small conversation starts. You feel a little happy, a little proud. That small moment starts changing your brain. It tells your brain, this is safe, this is okay, and slowly, your fear becomes smaller. This is how confidence is built, not in one big moment, but in many small moments. So today, I want you to stop saying I am shy, because this is not who you are. This is just what you feel right now. And feelings can change. You are not a shy person. You are a learning person. You are a growing person. You are someone who is becoming better every day. You are not alone in this journey. Thousands of learners feel exactly like you. The same fear, the same hesitation, the same silence. But many of them are changing, and you can change too. This is your first step. Not speaking perfectly, not speaking a lot, just understanding the truth. Your shyness is not your weakness. It is just fear, and fear can be trained. And this is where your new journey begins. Chapter 2. Stop trying to be perfect. Let me ask you something honestly. How many times did you stay silent just because you were waiting for the perfect sentence? You had an idea in your mind. You wanted to speak. But then your brain started checking everything. Grammar, tense, pronunciation, word choice. And while you were checking, the moment passed. The conversation moved on, and you stayed quiet again. This happens to so many learners, and slowly, this habit becomes normal. You don't speak, not because you don't know English, but because you are trying to be perfect. This is where the real problem begins. Perfection sounds like a good thing. It feels like you are doing the right thing. You want to speak correctly. You want to sound good. You want people to understand you clearly. But the truth is, perfection is stopping you. It is slowing you down. It is making your brain heavy. Instead of speaking naturally, you are thinking too much. And when you think too much, you don't speak at all. Now let me show you something very simple, but very powerful. Think about how people speak in real life. Even native English speakers do not speak perfect English all the time. They make small mistakes. They stop in the middle. They change their sentences. Sometimes, they say things like, I go yesterday, or he don't know in casual speech. Sometimes, they repeat words. Sometimes they forget words. But do they stop speaking? No. They continue. They communicate. They express their ideas. And people understand them. This is the key difference. They focus on communication, not perfection. Now imagine this situation. You go to a small shop in a new place. You don't know the language perfectly. You say something like, I want water, small bottle. The sentence is not perfect. The grammar is not correct. But the shopkeeper understands you. You get your water. The job is done. You communicated. That is what language is for. Not to be perfect, but to be understood. This is why I want you to remember one powerful line. Speak to express, not to impress. Say it again slowly in your mind. Speak to express, not to impress. You are not here to show perfect English. You are here to share your thoughts, your feelings, your ideas. Language is a tool. It is not a test. And the moment you start using it like a tool, everything becomes easier. Let me take you deeper into this idea. When you try to impress, your focus goes outside. You think about what others will say. You imagine their reaction. You try to sound smart. And this creates pressure. But when you try to express, your focus comes inside. You think about your message. You think about what you want to say. And this creates freedom. This small shift can change everything. Now I know what you might be thinking. But if I speak wrong English, people will judge me. This is a very common fear. But let me tell you something real. People respect effort more than perfection. When someone sees you trying to speak in a new language, they do not think you are weak. They think you are brave. They see your effort. They see your courage. And most of the time, they want to help you, not judge you. And even if someone judges you, does it really stop your growth? No, it only stops you if you let it. Think about how you learned your first language. You made many mistakes. You said wrong words. You mixed things up. But nobody told you to stop. You continued. You learned. You improved. English is the same. It is not different. The only difference is, now you are more aware. Now you are more afraid. And that fear is coming from your desire to be perfect. But what if you let go of that need? What if you allow yourself to speak imperfect English? What if you accept that mistakes are part of your journey? Let me give you a simple truth. Mistakes are not failure. Mistakes are proof that you are trying. They are proof that you are learning. Every mistake you make is a step forward. Every wrong sentence is practice. Every small error is helping your brain grow. And here is something very powerful. The more mistakes you make, the faster you improve, because you learn what works and what does not. You become more comfortable. You become more natural. Your fear becomes smaller. This is why I want you to change how you see mistakes. Do not run away from them. Welcome them. Use them. Learn from them. Fluent speakers are not perfect speakers. They are brave speakers. They speak even when they are not sure. They speak even when they make mistakes. They speak again and again. And slowly, their English becomes better. Not because they waited for perfection, but because they practiced with courage. Now imagine yourself in the future. You are in a conversation. Someone asks you a question. This time, you do not stop. You do not check everything in your mind. You just speak. Maybe your sentence is not perfect, but it is clear, it is real, and the other person understands you. That moment, that simple moment, is your growth. And it starts with one decision. Today, I want you to stop waiting. Stop waiting for perfect grammar. Stop waiting for perfect pronunciation. Stop waiting for perfect confidence. None of these come first. Speaking comes first. Confidence comes after speaking. Improvement comes after speaking. Fluency comes after speaking. So here is your small challenge, and I want you to take it seriously. Today, speak one imperfect sentence. Just one. It can be very simple. I feel good today. I go to market. I like this. It does not need to be perfect. It just needs to be spoken. Because that one sentence is not small. It is the beginning of your new mindset. It is the moment you stop being silent. It is the moment you start becoming a speaker. And once you start, you will not stop. Chapter 3. Start with small sentences. Let me make this very simple for you. You do not need big English to start speaking. You do not need long sentences. You do not need difficult grammar. You do not need perfect vocabulary. You only need one thing: small sentences. Yes, very small. Because right now, your goal is not to sound advanced. Your goal is to start speaking. And when something feels hard, we do not make it bigger, we make it smaller. Many learners feel pressure because they think they must speak like a fluent person from the first day. They imagine long sentences. They imagine perfect grammar. They imagine speaking fast and clearly. And because of this, their mind becomes heavy. Speaking feels like a big task, something difficult, something scary. So they wait. They say, I will speak when I am ready. But the truth is, you do not become ready first. You become ready by starting. So today, we remove that pressure. We break everything into small, easy pieces. I want you to imagine this. You wake up in the morning. You look around. You see your room. You feel your body. You have thoughts. All of this can be spoken in English using very small sentences. You can say, I am awake. I feel sleepy. My room is quiet. I see my phone. These are not big sentences. They are simple, but they are powerful because they are real. And most important, you can say them without fear. This is what I call micro sentences. Very short sentences. 2, 3, 4 words. Easy to remember, easy to say, easy to repeat. These sentences are your starting point. Let me give you some more examples. I am tired. I am hungry. I go now. I like this. This is good. I don't know. These sentences are not perfect English in a grammar book. But they work. They communicate. And that is what matters. Now, something very interesting happens when you start using these small sentences. Your brain relaxes. You do not feel pressure. You do not overthink. You just speak. And when you speak without pressure, your confidence starts growing. Think about it like this. If I ask you to lift a very heavy weight, you will feel scared. You may not even try. But if I give you a small weight, you can lift it easily. And when you lift it again and again, you become stronger. Speaking English is the same. Small sentences are your light weights. They help you train your speaking muscle. And here is something beautiful. When you use small sentences every day, they start connecting naturally. You do not need to force it. It just happens. For example, first you say, I am tired. Then maybe you say, I am tired. I work today. Later you say, I am tired because I work a lot today. Do you see what happened? You did not jump to a big sentence. You grew into it, step by step, naturally, without fear. This is how real learning happens, not by forcing big sentences, but by building from small ones. Now let us connect this with your daily life, because your life is your best classroom. You do not need special topics. You do not need difficult lessons. You already have everything you need. When you are eating, you can say, I eat food, this is tasty, I like rice. When you are walking, You can say, I walk slowly. I see people. The road is busy. When you are feeling something, you can say, I feel happy. I feel tired. I feel bored. These are real sentences, real thoughts, real moments. And when you speak about your real life, English becomes natural. It becomes part of you, not something separate, not something difficult. And slowly, something starts changing inside you. You stop translating every word. You stop waiting for perfect grammar. You start thinking directly in English. Not big English, but your English. Simple, clear, and real. This is where confidence begins. Let me give you a powerful truth. Big confidence does not come from big sentences. It comes from small daily speaking. Read that again slowly in your mind, because this is the key. Many people are waiting for confidence before speaking, but confidence does not come first. Speaking comes first, and small speaking is the easiest way to begin. Now imagine your day like a simple English journey. From morning to night, you keep speaking small sentences. Not for hours, just small moments. While brushing your teeth, while drinking water, while checking your phone. Just small, easy sentences. You are not trying to impress anyone. You are not trying to be perfect. You are just practicing. You are just expressing. And the more you do this, the more natural it becomes. Your fear becomes smaller. Your voice becomes stronger. Your mind becomes faster. One day, you will notice something surprising. You will speak a sentence without thinking too much. It will come naturally, and you will feel a small happiness inside. That is your progress. That is your growth. So please, do not wait for big English. Do not wait for perfect English. Start with small English. Because small is not weak. Small is powerful. Small is the beginning of everything big. Today, I want you to make a simple decision. Speak in small sentences. Do not think too much. Do not stop yourself. Just start. Even if it feels strange at first, even if it feels too simple, trust the process, because this simple step will take you far. Start small, but start today. Chapter 4. Talk to yourself first. Now I want to show you something very powerful, something simple, but life-changing. You do not need people to start speaking English. Yes, you heard it right. You do not need a partner. You do not need a teacher. You do not need an audience. You can start alone, right now, in your own space. Because the first person you need to speak to is yourself. Many learners wait for someone to practice with. They think, I will speak when I find a partner. Or, I need someone to talk to. And because of this, they keep waiting. Days pass, weeks pass. Sometimes even months pass. But speaking does not start. And slowly, their confidence becomes smaller. But what if you stop waiting? What if you realize that you already have the best partner with you all the time? That partner is you. Talking to yourself in English may feel strange at first. It may feel funny. You may even smile and think, why am I doing this? But trust me, this is one of the most powerful ways to break shyness. Because when you talk to yourself, something important disappears. Pressure disappears. Fear disappears. Judgment disappears. There is no one to laugh at you, no one to correct you, no one to make you feel uncomfortable. It is just you and your voice, and that is where real practice begins. Start in your room, a quiet place. Maybe sit on your bed, or stand near a mirror. Look at yourself, take a deep breath, and say something simple. I am here. I feel okay. Today is a good day. That's it. No need for big sentences, no need for perfect grammar. Just speak. You can also talk while doing daily things. When you wake up, you can say, I wake up now. When you brush your teeth, say, I brush my teeth. When you are eating, say, I eat food. This is good. When you are walking, say, I walk slowly. I see people. These are small sentences, but they are real. And when you speak about real things, your brain understands better. It feels natural. You can also talk about your plans. Today I go to work. I study English. I watch video. You can talk about your feelings. I feel tired. I feel happy. I feel a little nervous. These are your thoughts, your life, your reality. And now, you are giving them a voice in English. At first, it may feel slow. You may stop. You may think. You may search for words. That is okay. Do not rush. Do not force. Just continue. Even if you speak only 1 or 2 sentences, it is enough, because you are building a new habit. And here is something very important. When you talk to yourself, you are not only speaking, you are also training your mind. Slowly, your brain starts thinking in English. Not big English, not perfect English, but simple English, natural English. Before, maybe your brain was working like this. First, you think in your language. Then you translate into English. Then you try to speak. This process is slow. It creates confusion. It creates fear. But when you talk to yourself daily, something changes. You start thinking directly in English. I am tired comes directly. I want water comes directly. No translation. No delay. This is how fluency begins. Not from books, not from memorizing rules, but from using English in your mind and in your voice. Let me give you a small example. Imagine you are sitting alone, and you suddenly think, I need to drink water. Before, you may think this in your own language. But now, you try to think it in English. I am thirsty. I want water. Then you say it out loud. That small moment is powerful, because now your thinking and speaking are connected. And when this connection becomes strong, speaking becomes easy. Now let me share something very important with you. Many people are afraid to speak in public because they have never spoken in private. They want confidence outside, but they never build it inside. That is why they feel stuck. But you are different now. You are starting from within. The person who talks to themselves becomes the person who speaks to the world. Think about that line for a moment, because it is true. When you practice alone, you are preparing yourself. You are training your voice. You are building courage. And slowly, when the moment comes to speak with others, you feel ready. Not perfect, but ready. And that is all you need. Do not worry about sounding strange. Do not worry about what others will think if they see you. This is your journey. This is your growth. Every strong speaker you see today started somewhere, and many of them started alone, just like this. So today, I want you to take a small step. Find a quiet moment, maybe in your room, maybe while walking, maybe while sitting alone, and just speak. Say simple things, say real things, say your thoughts. Do not wait. Do not overthink. Just start. Because confidence does not appear suddenly in front of people. It grows quietly when you are alone. And when it grows enough, it will show itself to the world. Chapter 5. Train your mouth daily. Now let me tell you something that many learners do not understand at the beginning. Speaking English is not only a mental skill, it is also a physical skill. Yes, physical. Your mouth, your tongue, your lips. They all need training. Just like your body needs exercise to become strong, your mouth needs daily practice to speak clearly and easily. And if you only listen, or only watch videos, or only read, your brain may understand English, but your mouth will stay silent. That is why so many learners say, "I understand everything, but I cannot speak." This is not because they are not smart, it is because they did not train their mouth. Think about this in a very simple way. If you watch someone play football every day, will you become a good player? No. You need to play. You need to move your body. You need to practice. Speaking English is the same. You cannot become a speaker just by watching others speak. You must speak yourself, even if it is slow, even if it is not perfect, even if it feels uncomfortable. This is where daily practice becomes your best friend. You do not need hours. You do not need a long schedule. You only need a small time every day. 5 minutes, 10 minutes. That's enough to start. But this time must be active. You must speak out loud, not in your head, not silently. Your voice must come out, because your mouth learns by movement, not by thinking. Let me give you a very simple routine, something you can follow from today. First, choose a few small sentences, very easy ones. For example, I feel good today. I go to work. I like this food. Say the sentence slowly. Then say it again. Repeat it 2, 3, 4 times. Feel the words in your mouth. Feel how your lips move, how your tongue moves. This is your training. Then take that same sentence and change it a little. I feel happy today. I go to market. I like this movie. Now you are not just repeating, you are using the sentence in your own way. This is very powerful. You can also take sentences from videos. Listen to a short sentence. Pause the video. Repeat it. Say it again. Try to match the sound. Try to feel the rhythm. Not perfectly, just naturally. At first, it may feel slow. Your mouth may feel tight. Words may not come easily. You may feel like you are not doing it right. But this is normal. This is the beginning. Just like the first day in the gym feels hard, the first days of speaking practice feel uncomfortable. But if you continue, everything changes. Day by day, your mouth becomes faster. Your pronunciation becomes clearer. Your sentences come more smoothly. And something very interesting happens. You start speaking without thinking too much. This is because repetition builds automatic speaking. When you repeat something again and again, your brain and your mouth create a connection. The sentence becomes familiar. It becomes natural. You do not need to search for words. You do not need to build the sentence from zero. It is already there. And when this happens with many sentences, your speaking becomes fluent. Let me share a powerful truth with you. If you speak a little every day, one day you will speak without thinking. This is not magic. This is training. This is habit. This is consistency. Now let me also clear something important. Listening is good. Watching videos is good. Reading is good. But they are not enough. These things help your understanding. They fill your brain with English. But speaking is what brings English out of you. Speaking is what turns knowledge into skill. Imagine you have water inside a bottle. Listening fills the bottle. Reading fills the bottle. But speaking is when you open the bottle and pour the water out. If you never open it, the water stays inside. So do not only collect English. Use it. Speak it. Practice it. And remember, you do not need to speak perfectly. You only need to speak regularly. Let me paint a small picture for you. Imagine two learners. One studies English for 2 hours in one day, but then does nothing for the next 5 days. The other speaks for 10 minutes every day. Small practice, simple sentences, repetition. Who will improve faster? The second one, because consistency is more powerful than intensity. Small daily effort is stronger than big, irregular effort. When you practice every day, your brain stays connected to English. Your mouth stays active. Your fear does not grow again. You stay in the flow. This is how real progress happens. Slowly, quietly, but strongly. And one day, you will notice something beautiful. You will say a sentence, and it will feel easy. You will not think too much. You will not feel fear. You will just speak. And in that moment, you will realize you are changing. So from today, make a small promise to yourself. Not a big promise, not something difficult, just a simple one. I will speak every day. Even if it is 5 minutes. Even if it is only a few sentences. Do it. Stay consistent. Trust the process. Because talent is not the reason people become fluent. Practice is. Habit is. Consistency is. And if you keep going, your voice will become stronger every single day. Chapter 6. Accept mistakes without fear. Let me talk to you about something very important. Something that stops many learners, even when they know a lot of English. It is not grammar. It is not vocabulary. It is not pronunciation. It is fear of mistakes. This fear is quiet, but very strong. It sits inside you and says, "Be careful. Don't say it wrong." And because of this voice, you stop. You stay silent. You wait. But today, we are going to change this completely. First, understand this simple truth. Mistakes are not failure. Mistakes are learning. They are not signs that you are bad at English. They are signs that you are using English. And using English is the only way to grow. Think about real situations. You are speaking, and suddenly you say, "He go to school yesterday." You know something feels wrong. Or you say a word, and your pronunciation is not clear. Or you forget a word in the middle of your sentence, and your mind becomes blank. These moments happen to every learner, and in these moments, you have two choices. You can stop and feel embarrassed, or you can continue and keep going. This choice changes everything. Most learners choose to stop. They feel a little shame. They think, "Oh no, I made a mistake." Their confidence drops. Their voice becomes smaller. And sometimes, they do not speak again. But what if you react differently? What if, instead of stopping, you smile and continue? Imagine this. You say a sentence, and it is not perfect. You notice it. But instead of freezing, you say it again. Maybe a little better. Or maybe still not perfect, but you keep going. The conversation continues. The other person understands you. Nothing bad happens. No disaster. No big problem. That small moment is very powerful. because now your brain learns something new. It learns, making a mistake is okay. I am still safe. I can continue. And this is how fear becomes smaller. Let me tell you something honestly. Most people are not watching your mistakes. They are not thinking about your grammar. They are listening to your message. They are thinking about what you are saying, not how perfect it is. And even if they notice a mistake, it is just for a moment. Then they move on. But you hold on to it. You repeat it in your mind. You make it bigger than it really is. So today, I want you to let it go. Let go of that pressure. Let go of that fear. Because it is not helping you. It is stopping you. And even if someone judges you, even if someone laughs, what does it really change? Does it stop your learning? Does it take away your progress? No. It only affects you if you believe it matters. But your journey is yours. Your growth is yours. And no one else can control that. Now let us build something stronger inside you. Inner confidence. Confidence does not come from speaking perfectly. It comes from continuing, even when things are not perfect. It comes from standing strong, even after a mistake. It comes from trying again. Think about a child learning to walk. They fall many times. They lose balance. They make mistakes. But do they stop? No. They stand up again. They try again. And slowly they learn to walk. Speaking English is the same. Every mistake is like a small fall. And every time you continue, you become stronger. Courage grows when you continue after mistakes. This is the real secret. Not avoiding mistakes, but moving through them. Let me give you a small mindset shift. Next time you make a mistake, do not say, I failed. Say, I learned. Do not feel embarrassed. Feel proud. Because you tried. Because you spoke. Because you did something that many people are too afraid to do. And here is a powerful moment I want you to remember. The moment you stop fearing mistakes, you start becoming fluent. Read that again in your mind, because this is the turning point. Fluency does not begin when your English becomes perfect. It begins when your fear disappears, when you allow yourself to speak freely, when you accept that mistakes are part of your journey. Now imagine your future self. You are in a conversation. You speak. You make a small mistake. But you do not stop. You smile. You continue. You express your idea. And the conversation flows. That version of you is confident. Not because you are perfect, but because you are free. This freedom is what you are building right now. So from today, I want you to change your reaction. When you make a mistake, do 3 simple things. Smile. Continue. Try again. Do not stop. Do not go back into silence. Keep moving forward. Because every time you do this, you are training your mind. You are telling your brain, I am safe. I can speak. I can continue. And slowly, your fear will disappear. And now, let me tell you something very important about who you are becoming. You are not a shy learner anymore. You are not the person who stays silent. You are not the person who waits for perfection. No, that version of you is changing. You are becoming a brave speaker in training. This is your new identity. A person who tries. A person who speaks. A person who grows. A person who is not afraid of mistakes. And this identity will change your future. Because when you believe you are a brave speaker, you act like one. You speak more. You try more. You improve faster. So do not be afraid anymore. Do not run away from mistakes. Walk through them. Learn from them. Grow with them. Because every mistake is not a step back, it is a step forward. Chapter 7. Your New Identity. You are not shy anymore. Now close your eyes for a moment and imagine this. Someone asks you a question in English. Maybe it is simple, maybe it is unexpected. But this time, something is different. Your heart is calm. Your mind is clear. You do not freeze. You do not run away from the moment. You take a small breath, and you answer. Not perfectly, not like a native speaker, but clearly, naturally, confidently. And the conversation continues. You understand. You respond. You stay present. And inside, you feel something new. You feel proud. You feel strong. You feel like, yes, I can do this. This moment is not far away. This moment is being built right now. Think about everything you have learned. You understood that your shyness was not your weakness. It was just fear. And fear can be trained. You stopped waiting for perfection. You allowed yourself to speak imperfectly. You started using small sentences. Simple, real, powerful. You began talking to yourself, building your confidence in private. You trained your mouth daily, even if it was just for a few minutes. And you learned to accept mistakes, not as failure, but as growth. All these small steps are not separate. They are connected. They are building something inside you. Something strong, something real. And now, everything is coming together. You are not the same person anymore. Maybe the change feels small. Maybe it feels slow. But it is happening. You are thinking a little more in English. You are speaking a little more freely. You are feeling a little less fear. And these small changes are creating a big transformation. Let me tell you something very powerful. Change does not always feel loud. It is quiet. It happens in small moments. In one sentence you speak. In one mistake you accept. In one time, you try again instead of stopping. These small moments are shaping your new identity. And this new identity is simple, but strong. You are not learning English anymore. You are becoming a speaker. Feel that line. Let it stay in your mind for a moment, because this is not just a sentence. This is your shift. Before, you were someone who was trying to learn rules, words, grammar. You were focused on studying. But now, you are using English. You are living English. You are expressing your thoughts. You are building your voice. And a speaker is not someone who is perfect. A speaker is someone who speaks, someone who tries, someone who continues. Now imagine your day again. You wake up. You say a few small sentences. You talk to yourself while getting ready. You describe what you see. You speak a little while walking. You repeat a few sentences. You make a mistake, but you smile and continue. This is not a big, difficult process. This is simple, natural, real. And slowly, it becomes part of you. One day, someone talks to you in English, and this time, you do not feel that strong fear. Maybe a little nervous, but not enough to stop you. You answer. You stay in the conversation. And after it ends, you realize something. You did not run away. You did not stay silent. You spoke. That moment is your proof. You are changing. And here is something very important. You do not need to wait for confidence to start. Confidence is coming because you started. It is growing because you are practicing. It is becoming stronger because you are not stopping. This version of you already exists. You just need to step into it. Yes, that confident version, that brave version, that person who speaks without fear, that person is already inside you. It is not something you need to create from zero. It is something you need to allow. You need to give it space. You need to take small steps towards it every day. And you are already doing that. So do not go back. Do not say, I am still shy. No. That is your old story. That is your past identity. Now you have a new story. You are someone who speaks. Even if your sentences are small, you speak. Even if your grammar is not perfect, you speak. Even if you feel a little nervous, you still speak. That is your power. And this journey is just beginning. In the future, your sentences will grow, your words will come faster, your pronunciation will become clearer, your conversations will become longer. But all of that will come step by step. You do not need to rush. You do not need to be perfect tomorrow. You only need to continue today. So when you leave this video, I want you to carry one feeling with you. Not pressure, not fear, but hope. A quiet confidence that says, I am changing. I am growing. I am becoming a speaker. Because you are. And one day, you will look back at this moment, and you will smile. You will remember the time when you were afraid, and you will see how far you have come. So keep going, keep speaking, keep trying. Because your voice is finally waking up. If you feel ready to speak, don't stop here. Start today. Speak one sentence, just one. And if this video helped you, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and comment below. I will speak today. I read every comment. And I believe in you.